So I've lost two wallets in my life.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, it was both times I was drunk. The first one I was like, God, I was like 20 or something like that, or 21, and I was just blackout drunk. And I didn't find out until like I ended up I went to the wrong house at one point and tried to get in and I was just completely blitzed. And that wallet was apparently dropped in a yard because it was picked up by a postal worker like
Mm-hmm.
months later
Oh,
and
okay.
returned to me. The second wallet I lost was in a bar in Milwaukee, like 6 years ago or something like that. And that was not returned to me.
Oh, sorry to
And,
hear.
and well, so in that small sample size, I still think that there is, that I would make a prediction that how likely a wallet is to get returned to you is how much alcohol consumption there is involved in the would-be returners. Because someone at a bar with a little bit of a buzz is going to have a little looser moral standards, or and even take morality out of it, maybe lacking the motivation to attend to good citizenship.
Yeah,
That
I think
evening.
you're absolutely right. I was just trying to think of, as research, you always look for evidence. I'm not sure if someone has tested the causal impact of alcohol on people's honesty, but I think you're right. Like at least there is some research that shows that you need some self control to be honest, and so the more you drink, the less self control you have, and so you're basically succumbing to your and material self-interest more easily, I would say. Yeah,
Yeah, so you're
absolutely.
better off losing the wallet at, like, say, a movie theater than
Yeah,
inside of a bar, if I had to
if you can
guess.
choose where to
If you
lose
can
it.
choose.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But again, like I think, I mean, you were maybe a little bit unlucky, but I think wallets are returned at a much higher frequency than we tend to think.
Yeah, so the brilliant thing about the keys, because when you were saying the money difference, I imagine, um, I imagine many listeners were probably coming to the same conclusion that, like, oh, $13, like, yeah, it'd be nice to get this back to someone, but I'm busy today. I'm in the middle of a bunch of things. $100. Well, now this is really, that's, I wouldn't want to lose $100 myself, and this and that. But the keys, that's in many cases more valuable to the average person than
Yes,
$100 is.
that's exactly the reason for having the key, to kind of
Right.
make it always valuable to the owner. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So the just to give you like some impression of the return rate. So on average, it was about 40% across all countries in the no money condition. And when you included like $14, it was 51. And then if you included almost $100, it increased to 72%. So
Mm.
quite a bit of an increase. Now, the thing that we learned is that it cannot just be explained by altruism. Now, that's something that I think most people find it intuitive, say, well, we just care about other people. And the answer is yes, we do to some degree. We care about other people. But altruism by itself cannot really explain why we see this increase in return rates when we increase the amount of money. Because if you think about it, it's always a little bit a trade-off between, okay, we have, let's say, $100. Should I give it to you or should I keep it? So, and because people they like to care about other people, but they still like themselves more, I would say, and it's also what the research shows. If you increase the amount of money, you're not just increasing the harm to the other person, but you also increase the financial temptation to
Mm-hmm.
keep it. And so, in order to in order to explain this increase with the amount of money in the wallet, you need a second psychological force. And that was basically the new thing that this study showed, was the psychological force interacts with the incentive to steal. So what this means is that people, it's not just that people care or not about doing the right thing, but that the material benefits of doing the wrong thing, that they interact with this psychological cost of being nasty to someone else. Mm-hmm. And so we call this in the paper theft aversion. Another way to think about this is just self-image. So you like to think of yourself as a good, honest person.
Yeah.
Now, the more money there is in the wallet, the harder it's going to be to convince yourself you're still being a good person. So you see, like the cash involved, the incentive affects this, increases this psychological restraint, so that you're more likely to do the right thing.